princess that bustier, right? Now this is our shoulder line. From the shoulder line to mark the bust point, the bust point is at 10 inches, the under bust is at 13 inches, and the half length is 16 inches. I've gone ahead to label it bust point, under bust, waistline, that is the half length, right? Now to get your arm, divide your shoulder measurement by 2. Your shoulder measurement is 15 divided by 2, that would be 7.5, right? Okay. Then from this point you will go down by 1 inch, that is for the shoulder slope. Now to get the armhole depth, divide your bust measurement by 6 and add 1.5 to whatever you have. So after doing that, I have about 7.25 inch. Now to get the armhole curve, divide what you have from this point to this point by 2. After dividing it should be around here. Then from here to here, you come in by half inch. Then at this chest line, divide your bust measurement by 4. Welcome back, guys. I don't know how the stream got interrupted. So as you can see, we are trying to get how to draft a test that bustier, and this is just this. You will start with the basic bodies. As you know, I've marked the shoulder line, the bust point 10 inches, the bust point at 10 inches, the under bust at 13 inches, and the half length, that is the waistline, at 16 inches. I marked the armhole curve, and I'm working with a 3.5 neck and 4 inches neck depth. Now to start, divide your bust span. Divide your bust span into 2. If your bust span is 8 inches, you will divide it into 2 to have 4 inches. Now if you have 7 inches as your bust span, you also divide it into 2 and you will have 3.5. So the bust span I'm working with is 8 inches. Divided by 2 is about 4 inches, right? So at this point, this part going towards the middle, you come in here by half inch. Come in by half inch at this under bust line. At this under bust line, you mark half inch. And at the waistline, you also mark half inch. And you connect it in a straight line. The under bust and the waistline this way. This side it is constant. Now depending on your size, you mark. I'm going to mark 1.5 inch. The bust I'm working with is 36. So I'll be marking 1.5 inch. If your bust is smaller than 36, you can use 1.25. Or if yours is bigger, you can even go into by 1.75 inch, right? So I'm making use of 1.5 inch at this point. So at this side, the part going towards the sides, you go out by 1.5 inch. Then at this point, going towards the center, come in by half inch. Then at this bust point, you connect with a curve to the under bust line like this. Connect it this way. Connect it this way. In a curve. Then also use your curve ruler of your free hand. If you are good with curves, then use your free hand. Connect it using a curve this way. So this is what we have. Right? Now to get the princess that curve, measure what you have from here. Measure what you have from this line. Measure what you have from this line. So what I have is 9 inches. 9 inches divided by 2 is 4.5, right? So 4.5. You mark 4.5 from here to this point. So this is where my 4.5. So I will connect this 4.5 to this bust point in a curve to get the princess dart curve that we are looking for. Now we'll connect from here, from this point to this point, using a curve. So this is it. We are already getting that princess dart curve that we are looking for. Now to mark the darts at this point, you will go out here by 1/2 inch and come down by 1/2 inch as well. So 1/2 inch here and 1/2 inch here. Then you connect towards the bust point as well, using a curve. Hey, my hand is strong. Okay. Then also connect from here to the bust point. My hand was shaking, but just know that you will connect from this 1/2 inch point to the bust point and from this 1/2 inch point to the bust point. This is how it should look like, right? Then the next thing to do is to extend this line. Since we moved 1/2 inch at this point, we extend this line by 1 inch. We took away 1 inch from here, so we place it at this point with 1 inch. So you place it with 1 inch. Then also replace it here with 1 inch. Make sure it is in a straight line. So we are getting a new armhole curve right now. Because if you don't do this, just know that you'll be getting a shortage. So this is it.